All right, people, welcome back. In this section, we are going to talk about tags and elements. So you see, eventually, we are getting closer to the fun part where we'll start writing some HTML code. So, what is a tag? Um, it is commonly defined as a set of characters constituting a formatted command for a web page. All right. So, if you look at the image on the left, you would see uh, a less than, okay, and then a greater than. In between you have a character, okay. So this particular is what we call an opening tag, okay, and then we have a closing tag. The difference between the opening tag and the closing tag is you have a forward slash before the character in the last one, okay, and then the tag name. So mostly the character, which is the tag name, also denotes the function of that particular tag. Now, um, the whole thing, all right, there is some content here. So P, arguably, intuitively would be used for paragraph. Okay, so this is Web College 4. It's actually supposed to be displayed as a paragraph. Now, this content here, together with the opening tag and then the closing tag, all is known as what? The element. So when we come here, say tag consists of the tag name in angular brackets and may come in pair like this one. Okay, so this and this, all right, which makes up the beginning and then what? An ending tag that frame a particular piece of code, text, or other tags, and I just explained that already. HTML elements have modifiers. Now we are going to talk about attributes. All right, and they provide additional information about um, an element, and we are going to see what an attribute is in another diagram shortly. Okay, so attributes may come in name value pairs or just a name that is empty attribute and are placed on the opening tags of an element. Now this, let's have a closer look at tags. Okay, so you have the left angle bracket, the right angle bracket, in between you having the character. All right, so like this is the opening tag. The closing tag is the same except that now you have a forward slash, all right, just before the character, okay, in the middle of the left angle bracket and then the right angle bracket. So as I explained, the we have the opening and closing tags, but when they have a content, all right, like this one, they have a content Web College 4. Everything here is referred to as what? An element. Now, attributes, as we mentioned, they come in what? Name and value. So you have the attribute name and then what? Its value. Now, in this example, we have the attribute name called href or hypertext reference. All right, we will look at what this hypertext reference means later when we are talking about links. The value provided is what? Contact.html. This just when you click on this, it navigates to a different web page where you can submit. You can fill some form and submit. So you have the opening tag, closing tag, content, and all of this is called what? An element. All right. So let's just navigate to my favorite text editor, and I'm going to write some HTML code. Don't worry, we'll come back to this and I'll show you um, what I've done, how we can actually get this interface. But we said earlier on that to um, identify an HTML document, we must first specify the document type. All right. So we have this, and so in HTML5, listen very carefully. In HTML5, when you have the doc type, all you have to do is write HTML in lowercase like this. You are done. The moment the browser sees this, it knows that you are talking about the latest version of HTML, HTML5. Okay. Now, the next part is the main container or the HTML element. All right. And remember, now that we spoke about tags, you know the HTML is not an empty tag. It means it have both opening and closing tags. Are we okay? So we open because we said the HTML element has two children. It has the head, okay, then it has the body. All right. You realize that these two are now inserted inside correctly, just like the way it was depicted here in our previous lecture. Let's get back to our code. So in here we have the body. One of the um, metadata, okay, one of the categories of metadata we can specify in the head is the title, right? So we can use the title element and say this is first page. Okay, let's say web page. All right. Then in the body, since we have seen P already, it is only right that we use the P tag. All right. So we can say hello world. We're just announcing our presence. Okay. Now we can actually render this in the web page and see how it looks like. Hello world. All right. If this is not displaying well, let me just copy this and send it to my Chrome browser. Okay, so here, and so we have hello world, right? And then let me just minimize this. You see, this is the title that we have specified inside this. This is a title that is uh, displaying now. Okay, let's get back to that. And I don't want you seeing certain things, so yeah, let me hide them. Anyway, so let's get back to our code. What again did we talk about? We spoke about, so essentially we've just covered the document, HTML document structure. We also look at the title element, okay. We look at the P, which is for paragraph, all right. So these are elements. This whole thing is an element. Remember, when it is just a tag like this, it's just a tag. This is not an element. It's a paragraph tag. The moment it has a content, then becomes what? An element. I hope you are clear on that. Now we spoke about attributes, and we said they are modifiers. They add additional information. Okay, so let's say that our HTML page, we want to specify. We want to be specific and say that this should be rendered in um, English. So we can use an attribute called lang, which is a short form for language. All right, and we can say en dash maybe US. All right, says you use a you render the page in the American English version. All right, okay. What about other? There are other attributes. Okay, one of them that we can put on the body is BG color. All right, and so we can give the whole body a background color of say maybe green. All right, now let's refresh this, go back to our web page, and we see that everything here is green. The background, the green, our color is there. So this in a nutshell is about this is the lecture on um, excuse me. This is a lecture on the tags and elements. Um, Next time we would now start putting this together, and then we would see how we can create um, content out of this. All right. Thank you so much for staying with me up to this time. I hope you will be around for the next lecture. See you.